Hi all, and welcome to the video series of Excel and VBA. In today's video we will learn about event procedure, and event procedure we will discuss about worksheet change. In worksheet change we will discuss target and intersect with some example. So before that, as we are aware, what is event are nothing but it's an action, like when we are opening any workbook or we are saving any workbook, we are making any changes in our worksheet, we are putting some formula and anything. So each and every are action what we are doing with workbook or worksheet. And the macro, or you can say the procedure or subscript or sub, which is executing while that action is happening, is called as event procedure. In today's video we will discuss about worksheet change events. So let's move to the Excel file and see these things in Excel. So I have switched to the Excel file and let's open our Visual Basic editors. When we work with the workbook event, then we have to click on this workbook, and when we select the workbook, then action or that particular event will be open. So we have already discussed like a workbook open and before save. These are the events for the associated with workbook. So today, in today's section, we are discussing about the sheet events, which is worksheet change. So I'll go here and I have selected the worksheet. So by default the worksheet selection change has been come, so I'll make the changes to change this one. So I don't require the worksheet selection change, so I deleted this one, and now my code or syntax is ready for the worksheet change events. So when we are writing macro or any sub procedure or function in module, then we have to create the name of that particular module, or if we are passing any parameters. But in events we have not to do these things. We just select the drop down worksheet and then the one of the event out of so many. So let's discuss the worksheet change. So worksheet change has one parameter. That parameter is target. So first discuss what is target. So before target, when this worksheet change event happen, so it's happened when we are making any change in that particular sheets, or if we are making any content change in cell or group of cell. And what is target? The target is where we are making the changes. For example, if I am making the changes on D3, then my target address will be D3. So let's see with example. So I'll message box and I'll write Target.Address. So it will give me the target address. So if I'll make the changes here, for example, I'll writing some value, and when I press the enter, the message box has been come and it's saying that E2 has been changed. So we have the another property of mail value also, like in a target dot value. So it will tell me about the which address we have make the changes and what is the value we have given to that particular address. So if for example I'll put it the name, then it will tell me the C3 has been changed and the value in C3 is Sunil. So this is the target. Target is nothing but it's in a range. So whenever we are making any changes in the address, it's tell me about where I have made the changes and the event has been execute at that same time. So let's see some example of address. Okay, so I'll say if target dot value is greater than 25, then I have to put if here then the target dot entire row should be dot should be 36. So the entire row should be color with the color index of 36 if it's no more than 25. So now I'm putting like a 15, so that event has been executed, but it's doesn't satisfy my condition, that's why it's doing nothing. If I'll put it here 26, what will happen? I'll press the enter, and then my entire row has been colored with the color index 36, or it's in a light yellow. So these are the things we can do, or we can find out if that particular cell or address has been changed, then it should be the one message box should comes. For example, I'll give if Target.Address is equal to A3, then it should be colored, this time we will tell about column dot interior dot color index, and we can give the color index to 34. Okay, if I'll make the changes on A3, then it should be execute, else it will not. Okay, so this is my A3 where I have put the Sunil. If I'll make the changes here, so what will happen? Nothing will be happen. It's in a row because we have given condition that if it's should more than 25, then the entire row should be colored, but the column has not been changed here. So if I'll make the changes here, now I'll make 85 or something, or this is the A3, it's my mistake. So A3, if I'll write it 85, then you can see the entire column has been colored with blue color. Okay, so these are the conditions we can play with the target. And another thing, we have the intersect. So instead of A3, I'll put it D3 now, D3, and in D3 if I'll write 15, then this has been in this has been colored out. Okay, what is the intersect? Intersect is the area which is present in my define area and my target value. For example, I'll just color with some color, and the color is, I'll just give the blue ones. So this is my defined area, and if I'll tell if my target is in this area, then I want to execute some macro or some procedure. If outside this area, then I don't want to execute that one. So let's see this one also. So I'll just clear this one, this macro, and before that I'll make it as a range. So I'll select here and my range. So I have given this entire area as a range. So I'll just declare dim range as range. And as you are aware, and we have discussed in our previous video also, that range is a object, and when we are declaring any object, then we have to set that value also. So range is equal to range of my range. So that we have decided. Now we will, if intersect, and this has the parameter argument 1 as a range. So what is my argument 1? That is my target. So I want to say if my target is in range, is nothing or is not in my range, then it should say, or the message box should become, message box should come, you have entered value outside the define area. Okay, so this message box, so when I'm putting any value on this one, nothing is happening. Okay, actually I have to put it in this one, then I'll run this macro. So if I'll make any changes in this one, nothing will going to execute, but if I'll use outside this area, then message box will come, you have entered value outside the defined area. How we can make it that this should be not outside this one? Then we use the not keyword here, not intersect, and then I'll use that enter the value in the defined area. So let's try it now. So if I'll put it outside any value, it doesn't activate that event or it doesn't give any value, but if I'll go here and I'll write any value, then the message box is coming. So I hope that you have cleared the concept of target. What is the target, which is the parameters, and what is the parameter in function and procedure and events. You can refer my previous video, and even the range also. Range is the object and how to define the object and how use object as a variable. So all these things we have covered in our previous video. So we have discussed about the target and intersects and how you can make the uses. We have seen with simple examples. So let's move to the presentation. So we have seen the target. What is the target? It's in a range, and intersect is like when target is in your defined area, that is the intersection area of that one. So we have to think when it's triggering, this event will trigger, and when this event doesn't trigger. So when we are changing any content of cell, then this event will trigger, and when we are deleting the cell also it will be triggered. So let's see on in Excel file. So we have seen like we are manipulating any area. So instead of 96, if I'll write the 85, then also the message box is coming. So if we are making any changes to any cell, then it's coming, or that event is executing at that same time. And I know that this cell doesn't have any value here, so this has value. If I'll delete it also, then it's activating that particular event, but I know that this doesn't have any value. After that, if I press the delete button, it's also executing. So it's the Excel is thinking that we are deleting some things, and that's why it's executing this event. And there are number of things we have to taken care while using this worksheet change function. When it doesn't trigger that event also, when we are changing any format of cell, we are merging any cell, we are inserting, editing or deleting any command, and when the formula is changing value also, it doesn't trigger. So let's see so I have come here. So first thing, if I am making any changes to format, for example, I have selected the define area. If I'll make the changes, I am applying the border, then that event doesn't occur at this time. If I'll change the color also, it will not affect. Okay, so at that time while formatting, it doesn't reflect or it doesn't activate that particular event. And the another thing we have discussed about merging. So we know that while merging of two value, it will delete one, so 89 will be deleted, but after deleting also it will not activate that particular worksheet change events. So I'll do merge and center, it will upper, so it merged my value. It's 89 has been deleted and 45 has been centered out, but that event has not been activated at this time. Also if we are inserting any comment, for example if I'll write here, right click and insert comment, I'll put it test, it doesn't activate my events. So if I'll make the changes or delete this comment also, it will not activate at any cost. So even making the commenting of that particular cell, or we need to add some comment, it will not activate my worksheet change events. And the most important thing we will discuss, for example here we have one formula. So I have given the sum formula, it's in a 168. So let's do some coding in this one. So I'll go, and instead of my range I'll give the range, instead of here only, so I'll range it. So what is my cell value? It's in a M13, so I'll write M13, and okay, I'm writing here, if my target is M13 and is changed, then it should message me that value in formula change has been changed. Okay, so let's go here, and now my total sum is 168. I am making the changes here, so I'll make it 85. My value has been changed 168 to 178, but that event doesn't occur and that event doesn't activate. So if the formula is changing the value, or the formula is changing the content of value, this worksheet change event will not occur. So this is all about the worksheet change event today. Thanks for watching and keep learning. Please share, like and subscribe, and if you have any query you can write it in comment box. Thank you very much.